Welcome to yet another episode of Simpliaxis question and answer session. Today we have Mr. Srikanta Konur. He's a certified PMP trainer and a project management coach. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Lijo. In fact, I have around 35 years of industry experience in FMCG sales and distribution and marketing. And post-retirement, I started by seconding my career as a project management coach after doing the certification in the PMP from the PMI. And in the last 10 years, I have trained close to around 3,000 professionals from across the industry, from across the globe. That's my background today, in fact.
Okay. Sir, let's get into the question and answer session. My first question would be like a very basic question, like the PMP training and the PMP certification, is it seriously relevant at this point of time, or it has been gone off?
No, it's absolutely relevant even in 2026 and beyond. Basically because the projects are the growth engines for any organization.
Okay.
In this globally competitive, technology-driven business environment, without projects, no organization can stay relevant and succeed in this present environment. So projects are a must, and every organization look for new projects. Projects are done by the people. Projects are not done by your computers or Gantt charts. And PMP certification helps these team members to acquire this knowledge so that they can contribute significantly to deliver the business outcomes for the organization. So it will stay very, very relevant even in future also.
Sir, a lot of things are coming up artificial intelligence and AI is capturing all the industries and everything. So what do you think when it comes to PMP certifications as well as executions? How exactly artificial intelligence is delivering the value there?
In the present scenario, I totally agree with you that AI is making a lot of inroad into the industry. In the present scenario, AI can help for example, schedule planning, some of the risk prediction insights, predicting the insights of the projects, and also document creation. Those are all the areas where the AI is very widely used. But some of the limitations of AI is that it cannot take, for example, make decisions. It's always human-centered decisions are made in the project environment. So AI cannot take decisions or make decisions. AI cannot, for example, do the stakeholders negotiation. It is not possible at this moment, in fact, in the AI. And the third thing is that, AI does not understand the organization politics, right? So these are all some of the limitations that AI has got. So human intervention is so important because you make a lot of decisions in the project environment. So I don't think that AI can replace the human intervention. At the same time, we need to embrace AI in our project management work. Basically because the project managers can focus on other critical areas and make use of the AI so that they'll be able to deliver the business outcomes in the project environment. Recently, there was a study from World Economic Forum. They analyzed the impact of AI in the industry and also particularly in the project environment. They come out with the data that close to 90 million jobs are going to be displaced in the next 5 years because of AI. But the good news is that around 170 million jobs are going to be created using the AI. So it's very important that, the risk, what the project managers or the leaders, the risk comes from the job switch. In fact, they have to reskill themselves, not job losses, in fact. So if they can embrace these new skills, like, for example, prompting skills, adaptive skills, if they can embrace that, that will be really, really good for the project managers to be really successful in delivering the project outcomes. That's my take.
Yeah, sir, you said three things so that is very important here. One is AI may not be able to manage the office politics. Next thing is AI may not be able to deal with the stakeholders. And the very third thing is AI will make the jobs loss, but AI will also create that. So it is always a positive thing which artificial intelligence is doing when it comes to the project management and the certification as well as the programs. Sir, what is the state of PMP certification and project management, especially in 2026? So AI, we discussed about AI, and AI is taking over each and everything. So, and also I heard that cracking PMP is always a tough job. So what is what are your guidelines to candidates who wanted to crack the PMP examination, as well as how the certification can be done, and who is the best provider? Can you just facilitate all these answers?
Okay, I think that's an excellent and a very long question also. So I'll try my best to answer those questions. You see, in this globally competitive business environment, if you don't make a difference, we are not required today, in fact. It is applicable even for the organizations. So the PMP certification is one which really help you to make the difference. Because PMP certification is a golden standard certification recognized worldwide across the industry. And what is project management is nothing but people management, and projects are done by the people. So PMP certification helps the team members to acquire that knowledge, where they will be able to apply this right knowledge, skills and tools and techniques. So they'll be able to contribute significantly to the project's outcome or the business outcome. It is not just output you develop, you're also developing the business outcome, which is so important, where your customers and your sponsor will be able to see the difference and realize that business value. That is where the PMP certification really makes a lot of help, in fact. That's one of the reasons that many organizations are looking for the PMP certified people who can confidently translate those things into business outcome, which I just mentioned. PMP certification is a tough examination because it's a golden standard certification recognized widely, in fact, across the industry, which I just mentioned that. So it requires a lot of mindset, the PMI mindset, to clear the examination, because it has got a lot of value.
Sir, I was asking one more question there, how the PMP exam can be cracked by the candidates, and who are the best providers, and when selecting the right trainer, what are the guidelines that you offer?
Okay. I think that's another very interesting session. In fact, PMP certification is a tough examination, 180 questions that you need to crack in 230 minutes. So you require a lot of practice, and also what you require that PMP mindset, the PMI mindset to clear the examination. That's very important. That can be provided only by those companies who got the excellent trainers, in fact, who had the practical experience in delivering the projects and transferring that knowledge to the participants, in fact. So it requires a lot of efforts, at least about 2 to 3 months of discipline working, in fact, discipline studying the subject. That will really help them to clear the PMP examination. It's not an easy examination. It's a tough examination. At the same time, has got a lot of demand across the industry today.
Sir, most of the aspirants joining with Simpliaxis, they make a comment like, this exam is very tough and it is difficult to crack. So do you think is there any alternative exam just like PMP?
No, at present, I don't think that there is any alternative for PMP certification, because as I mentioned, it's a golden standard certification, widely recognized. Why it is widely recognized? Because those who are PMP certified, they are able to contribute significantly to the project success, the outcome, business outcome, which is so important. And PMP certification, why many of them they find it difficult is the PMI mindset. When they study the course, they need to adopt themselves with a PMI mindset. That's important. By not just memorizing, many of the participants, why they find it difficult is they try to memorize the PMBOK books, and in the examination, they'll find it extremely difficult. They don't understand the situational or scenario-based questions, where a lot of questions will come on that. They don't understand that. And the another important thing is about the agile concepts. Now today, PMP examination, 50% of the questions come from the adaptive life cycle and 50% from the predictive life cycle. Many of the participants or the students, they find difficult to understand these concepts and answer properly in the examination. Third important thing is that the time management. In 180 questions, you have to answer in about 230 minutes. Many participants, what they do, they spend a lot of time in the beginning. At the end of 80th or 90th questions, they find that, lot more questions to be answered, but they will have less time. So that pressure will set into them, in fact, and even though they know the right answer under stress, they don't choose the right options. That's another reason, why many students, they fail. So it's very important when you do the mock test. That's one advantage, when you do the training sessions with the companies like Simpliaxis or these recognized companies, they will also prepare you by using the mock test, so that mentally you'll get fitness also to sit in front of the computer for about close to 4 hours and answering about 180 questions. And if you can make this, I'm sure they will definitely pass the examination. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, but Simpliaxis is also having a feature like affinity boards. So what do you think about affinity board and how it helps candidates?
That is interactive boards, that's what you're talking about. In fact, interactive boards are very, very useful because, that will really help them to understand the project scenarios, live examples, that will really help them. In fact, that will make them exam ready. But only thing is, they need to really make use of it very well. That's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, in our last question, you were very particular about agile knowledge. So do you suggest candidates that, starting with any agile courses before going with PMP, something like CSM, CSPO, or PMI related courses like PFMP, CAPM, something like that? So what do you think?
I think this is another very interesting question. If you look at the PMP examination criteria, the participant should have at least about 3 years of working experience in the project environment. They must already have led some teams, in fact, during the working. They must have taken a lot of decisions, during the project management. That is the criteria that, the PMP certification is required. Whereas for Agile certification, you don't require those things, in fact, okay? So if you're starting your career, it's always good to have Agile certification. Then once you gain some experience, then you have the PMP certification along with the Agile concepts. That will really help you to deliver the project's business outcomes very effectively. So PMP is not for the entry-level certification. It is for those experienced, as I just mentioned, those professionals who already have some experience in the project environments. So both are complementary, but it depends upon at what stage of your career that you are in. That depends on that.
Sir, we are about to conclude this session.
Yeah.
And right before that, I wanted to ask you one more question. That is, what is the ROI of PMP certification? Like, after doing PMP certification, what sort of salary increase or hike that candidates can expect?
I think that's an excellent question. The PMI has done a survey and they come out with the data that those who are PMP certified, they get around 16 to 25% increase in the salary compared to the non-PMPs. Okay, that is the advantage. Much more important according to me is that, the projects, every organization requires projects. And projects are done by the people, as I mentioned earlier also, in fact. And PMP certification helps, in fact, these team members to acquire the right knowledge, skills and tools and techniques, they'll be able to adopt. And the process, they'll be able to deliver the business outcome, the tangible business outcome to the sponsor or to the customers. So that's why the PMP certification holders has got a lot of demand in the market today. Every organization is looking for the PMP certified holders because they'll be able to contribute significantly to the project success, in fact. I think that is the biggest ROI that they can anticipate or they can expect from that, in fact. I hope I answered your question on that.
So obviously, yes, sir. And sir, what is your suggestion or your advice to the Simpliaxis aspirants, PMP aspirants, when it comes to starting or thinking about doing a PMP certification?
What I have understood is that the Simpliaxis got a very structured model. In fact, your PMP mentors who have got highly experienced, the industry experience, industry scenarios, they'll be able to explain much better. So they got a structured way of studying the material, in fact. So what I would humbly request the participants is to go through this model, do a lot of mock tests, because doing about 3 to 5 mock tests will really help them to make exam ready, both physically and mentally also. As I explained that you need to sit in front of the computers for about 4 hours and answer about 180 questions, and your energy level right from the first question to the last 180th question should be same, in fact. Then only you'll be able to answer the questions rightly. So the Simpliaxis, the training program, it really helped them in those areas so that, their success rate can be very, very high.
Thank you so much for coming, sir. It was a great, useful interaction that we had, and you have answered a lot of questions which will be helpful for the upcoming PMP aspirants and those who are struggling to crack the exams. So thank you so much.
It's my great pleasure, and thank you for giving this opportunity for me to explain some of these things. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, all viewers. We will be coming with an upcoming session soon. So please like, subscribe and comment Simpliaxis YouTube. Thank you.